Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle Fuller. I am the owner of Fuller Consciousness. I am a life coach and spiritual teacher, and I am stepping up my game here, and I'm going to start to try to get on YouTube more often because I got shit to say. So here I am. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Also, throw me a like, a comment, please share, etc. This video is going to be about core beliefs. I do not have an outline for you. I am just going to speak and we're going to see what comes out. I have a lot of things to say about it, and I hope that you can find some meaning in this topic. So first of all, it's important to understand that when it comes to your core beliefs, they were shaped inside of your childhood. Between the ages of 0 and 7, when you are in theta, which is the most programmable state, lots of core beliefs get developed inside of your brain. Some of them are beneficial, some of them are not beneficial. When I say beneficial, I mean in terms of you and how you can bring yourself to the world. Others get in the way, tell lies. As we move through our lives, what happens is the core beliefs that have been shaped within us, we subconsciously gather evidence to support their validity. We don't realize we're doing it, hence subconsciously. But say you have a core belief that says, I'm not lovable, then you go to school and you walk into the kindergarten classroom and a little girl doesn't want to hold your hand. Let's say you're a little girl too. There's evidence. You go to second grade and you have experiences there to support the belief, more evidence. You go to fourth grade, on and on and on. So you're going to be looking for things subconsciously to support the belief. And it's actually on a really subconscious level. Again, it's sort of comforting because it's like the thing that you think is true. And so you're like keeping yourself really safe by hooking into it on a subconscious level. And this way you can protect yourself, from being harmed or hurt, etc. When you grow up and you're a grown ass man or woman and you're having experiences, hopefully, you have the ability to notice patterns, right? So like if you, let's say you go to work and every job you've ever had, you've had a lot of challenges with your coworkers, okay? Lots of issues there. When I say challenges, I mean something that is like really stressful to you. Okay. Like something that really, keeps you up at night. You worry over, you have a lot of concern over. So let's say you're 30 years old, maybe you can look back and you can start to see there's a pattern there. Like, how come every job I've ever had, I have personal challenges with coworkers, right? So we can make a choice at that point. We can blame the coworkers, be like, they're a bunch of assholes, etc., which maybe they are. Okay. Maybe they are. I'm not saying that's not true because there's like a lot of assholes out there. Don't get me wrong. Or we can empower ourselves and look at ourselves and say, what about me is attracting this experience? Not to bypass your experience and not to say it's your fault. This isn't about blaming any victims here. Okay. But do you want to be a victim and have them be the asshole? Do you want to be a martyr and have them be an asshole? Or do you want to try to locate, identify patterns that may be energetically from your magnetic center aligning you with this circumstance again and again and again? Same circumstance, different situations, different settings, different environments, different people, but same circumstance, triggering the same wound, right? Again and again and again. Or do you want to look at that and try to discern if there is something in you that you might be able to heal or shift or expand from expand up and out of into a more empowered version of yourself in some way, not even so much because you don't even want it, you don't want to experience that anymore, because, I don't blame you. That sucks. I wouldn't want to experience that again and again either. This example or so many others, but mostly because it's an opportunity for you to shift out of a core belief that is getting hooked into inside of this space, resulting in cyclical suffering, patterns of suffering. And perhaps if you identify it and shift out of it, change the belief to something else, maybe you'll start experiencing something different, right? Because the thing is, guys, it's a chicken or egg question. When we start noticing patterns, it's up to you. You can perceive it however you want to perceive it. It's just a coincidence. Why does this always happen to me? Fine. But what if you're expecting it, you're looking for it, you're waiting for it, not your fault, not your fault. There's been wounding there, you've been hurt in those spaces, etc. And so you have thought forms running through your brains that are in protective mode, right? And so it's sort of occurring again and again and again so that you can identify the core, the root of the issue, and then shift it and change it so you don't have to experience it anymore. And you can experience something, that's more in alignment with the truth of your gorgeous, awesome, amazing, infinite, expansive self, right? Okay, so core beliefs. So going back to that example, um, let's say you're a woman and you're always having issues with women at work, other women, time and time and time and time again. Maybe these other women are on the narcissistic spectrum, and it feels like they sort of go after you, and you're sort of trapped in your own perceptual reality of this experience. No one else is really there to experience it with you, to validate it for you. Maybe other people don't see it, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So a question that you might ask yourself is, what do I believe about myself that is aligning with this experience again and again? So from that space, you can simply ask yourself that question to begin with. What do I believe about myself? Right. So, okay, well, how do you feel in that space? Right? How do you feel? Well, I feel like people treat me like shit. Let's go with that. I feel like people treat me like shit. Okay. If people do treat you like shit, what does that say about you? Well, it means that there must be something about me that gives people the indication that they can treat me like shit. Oh, okay. So if you're giving people the indication on some level that they can treat you like shit, what does that say about you? Well, I guess maybe that says about me that, like, I am not really um giving people an accurate presentation of myself. Okay. So if you're not giving people an accurate presentation of yourself, what does that say about you? Well, I guess maybe that says that if I'm not giving an accurate presentation of myself, it's because I'm afraid of showing my true self. Okay. If you're afraid of showing your true self, what does that say about you? If I'm afraid of showing my true self, it's because there's something about me that I feel like I have to hide. Okay. If there's something about you that you feel like you have to hide, what does that say about you? If I feel like I have to hide, it's because I don't feel safe. Oh, you don't feel safe. If you don't feel safe, what does that say about you? It says that I'm not safe. Oh, you're not safe. Oh, you're not safe. Okay. That might be a core belief. I'm not safe. I'm inherently, innately not safe. So if we're going to go out into the world with that idea, subconscious or not, we're going to find lots of evidence for that. And depending on your level of awareness, you will understand me when I say that um, you're pulling in and aligning with evidence for that so that you can actually locate it and heal it and unlock that cage, unlock that lock on your cage. Okay. So that's the key. The experience is the key. So that said, okay, so now we know I believe I'm not safe. Now we know that. Okay. So what can I do to change that core belief? Well, first of all, you have to decide if you really want to, you know, because you've had it for a really long time. And so it's been serving you in some way, it's been a benefit to you. So do you really want to? What if you're not safe? You know, what if you're not safe? What if that's true? Like, what if everybody around you is out to get you? So are you sure that you want to relinquish that core belief? What would you have to do to relinquish that core belief? What type of belief would you have to replace it with so that you could find a way to be safe? Well, for me, I would suggest replacing it with something along the lines of, I've always got myself, or I am my own best friend, or I will lead from integrity to ensure that my best interests are honored by myself, right? Because you're never stuck anywhere. You're free. You're free. You can always choose you and do what you need to do so that you feel safe and honored. You know, nobody's going to do that for you. Nobody's going to do that for you. In positive psychology, there's um, an analogy called the sailboat analogy, and like it's actually really kind of convoluted, and there's a whole model to it. But suffice it to say that the premise of it is that um, you know, we think that it's about the water, but it's actually about the boat, and the boat is you. It doesn't have anything to do with the water, which is your environment. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to change the environment all the time. But when we change ourselves, then what happens is we find a way to sail the seas. Aye, Captain. Aye, Captain. Right? Authorship. Authorship. You're the captain of your own ship. You're writing your own story. So, how strong is your mast? Do you have a nice heavy canvas sail or whatever they're made of? What are the conditions of your boat? It's all you. It's all you. This is all about you. So, from there, after we've identified, okay, yes, I do want to change this belief because I see that it's not serving me and the detriments outweigh the benefits. You might even want to make a list of like the benefits to having this belief and then the detriments to having this belief. Like seriously sit with it, man. It's a big deal. You know, it's a big deal. This is serious stuff. Make sure you really want to change those beliefs, that belief, right? When you have ascertained that it is to your benefit to change the belief, something that you can do is you can look at the belief some more and start to sort of connect the dots over your lifetime and start to consider where you may have like developed it. You know, like where does it come from? What information can you find from your past based on your family of origin, based on your experiences in the world? How might have projected the belief onto you, you know, like maybe your father um inherently didn't believe that he was safe, and so he was like really afraid all the time for you, and he led from fear, and he gave you the impression that you weren't safe. And because he was so worried for you out of love, but his own unconsciousness, he might have tried to suppress the real parts of yourself, you know, that if shown to the world might leave you open for his idea of persecution or something. So, you know, all in his subconscious mind, let's squeeze her, let's push her in, let's sand down the edges a bit and make her safer, more palatable so that she'll have an easier life. Nothing to do with you. It was never anything to do with you, except maybe commentary on how, infinite and gorgeous and big you were. What an amazing soul you are. You got shit to do. So a lot of times the stuff we experience when we're in our formative years, um, is the place where we experience the lead so that we can turn it into gold. Alchemy. It's a game. We got to go through the levels. If you come in as gold and you never have anything to keep you from being gold, you're not going to be the gold you're here to be. You got to find it. You got to do the work. Okay. And that's a whole other video. But anyway, okay. So do some of that mental work, just like, maybe this had something to do with it. Maybe that. Journal, write it down, write lists, however you like to do it. Okay. But really like sit with it and look at it. Okay. Take your time. There's no rush. Okay. So now that we've done that, now what we're going to do is we're going to decide like what belief we want to have instead. What do we want it to be? You get to choose. You get to choose. So it doesn't have to be like the polar opposite. It doesn't have to be like, if before the belief is, I'm not safe, I'm not safe if I'm me, which is attracting in these assholes who treat me like shit because I'm all codependent and people pleasy or something. I don't know. I'm expanding this example. Okay. It doesn't have to be, I am safe. It doesn't have to be that. It could be that. It could be that. But take it somewhere meaningful for you, take it somewhere really meaningful for you. So like for me, and this is all me, if I had a core belief that said, I'm not safe if I'm me, to just say, I am safe if I'm me, that's not going to light my fire. That's not going to light my fire. That's not exciting to me. What's exciting to me? What do I want to believe instead? How about I have a responsibility to myself and to the world to be me? How about that? So not only am I safe, but it doesn't even matter whether or not I'm safe because I actually have a responsibility. That's fire. That's going to surpass any fears of safety, right? From a choice, from a willingness to be a thing anyway, because I know it's important. I know it's important for me, and I know it's important for my walk in this realm. So that's, again, that's me, but that's an example for you. Okay, we've got the new belief. Now, what am I going to do? Now, what I'm going to do is every day when I go out into the world, or if I'm just sitting, chilling home, doesn't have to be out into the world, but the work example, you're probably going out into the world. So you're out into the world. You're going to be looking for evidence that you have a responsibility, because this is the belief, this is my belief, this is what I said. You can do the whole I am safe thing and then look for evidence that you're safe and then actually be looking for things to show you that you're safe. Like, I don't know, like say you go to the break room and you get yourself a cup of coffee and there's like a coffee dispenser and the thing is like not working right and all this hot coffee comes out and you like step away just in time. You're not going to focus on like what almost happened. You're going to focus on, I am safe. I'm good. I was able to step away in time. Or let's say the coworker that you have challenges with comes into the break room when you're getting the coffee and maybe she actually kind of comes in to help you. Okay. I'm safe. I'm not going to focus so much on, the challenges that I have with this person or the issues that I have with this person, or even what I know is true about this person. Like maybe this person really is an asshole. They help me out here. I'm safe. I'm safe. They're only out to get me if I give them permission to do that. But I've got myself. I'm safe. I'm good. Right? You're driving home from work and you stop at a stoplight and You see, I don't know, like an accident or something happen on the other side of the intersection. And you're like, wow, I'm safe because look at my timing here. If I'd been like 10 seconds faster, I might have gotten the green and I might have been involved in that. Okay. So you get the picture. Um, there are so many examples that I could give you, but hopefully you're getting the picture. If you're going to another space of it, the one that I was more talking about, more of like a fire belief for me, like what feels really good to me, which is that like I have a responsibility to be me here and I am safe to do so. You might want to throw that in as well. Um, then you could go out into the world looking for feedback from people. Like when you're you, like when you're totally you, what do you receive back from the universe? It could be someone, coming to you for wisdom. It could be someone asking you for help on a project. It could be someone complimenting you on some way that you be. It can be just things that you see about yourself, like man, I'm really celebrating my successes, and I did this successfully today. Or I'm so glad that I'm me so that I can handle this thing exactly in this way or whatever. You get the picture. So just really look for that stuff and don't be afraid to like write stuff down either, even if it's just like in your notes app on your phone. It doesn't have to be some fancy journal, leather bound journal with gold letters or whatever. Anywhere, write the stuff down. Write down the evidence because it's true. It's true. It was always true. It's not like you're creating something brand new or something that was never there. The thing is, it's just as true as anything else. It's just as true as anything else. You get to decide what you want to believe and what's true for you. Do you hear my crazy train? Do you hear my crazy train? Okay. So the crazy train is the metaphor for agreeing to be here. I got river out back, acres around me, wildlife around me, rolling hills, and in front of me, I got a train. So we get to agree to be here. We get to agree to be here. And if we're going to be here, we might as well be all of ourselves. So don't be afraid to look at your experiences, see what they're trying to show you, really look for patterns and use them to empower yourself. Take responsibility. We can spend our whole lives blaming other people, being a victim, being a martyr, or we can take responsibility and improve ourselves and be who the hell we are. You already are. Okay. Also, when it comes to these types of patterns that we notice, don't forget like who's in control here. Like you are, right? Like nobody can make you feel any way or have any power over you unless you allow them to. So when you're noticing big feelings in spaces like this, really look at it. Something like codependence or people pleasing behavior, like there are so many layers to that, you guys. It is such a freaking onion. And when you get real about it and you sincerely seek to heal it, you are going to heal it. And you will have the right circumstances come in. Sometimes it'll almost feel like you're being jabbed with like little needles, like a hailstorm, because there'll be so many things, so many events, so many situations. It doesn't have to be codependence. Whatever it is you're trying to heal, when you're sincerely seeking to heal it, there will be so many experiences that come in. If you're open to it, if you believe in the magic of this realm, okay, so that you can use them to use the experiences to go within and see what it is in you that they're trying to give you an opportunity to identify, feeling is a big part. Not bypass the feeling. Most important thing we're ever going to do is feel the shit. Because a lot of times that's why the core beliefs are created in the first place, to protect us from feeling the feelings, feeling the fear. So if we have the belief, it'll keep us safe. We won't have to feel the feels. We have so much fear around feeling. It's not even that we're afraid, we're just afraid to feel. So, yeah, like know that everything's working for you. It's all working for you. Okay, that's it. Big love. Thank you for joining me. Again, don't forget to please like, subscribe, share, and I'm going to be back with more. I promise you that. Have such a gorgeous day, night, wherever you are in the world.